Hello everyone, today we continue with the game DC Dark Legion. Today's topic is a guide on building
I was
Bane.
born and molded for
Recently,
this.
Bane has been getting more attention thanks to the addition of new assassin alliances. Even before that, Bane was already a solid pick for the Arkham faction. So I believe this video will be useful for both new and veteran players. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe to support the channel. Now let's jump straight into
I
the
was
video.
born and molded for this.
First, let's go over Bane briefly. Bane is a guardian known for his survivability. While he doesn't provide much support to teammates, his main role is to endure damage and tank hits from up to 3 enemies if positioned correctly. With his self-healing ability, defense boosts, and guardian role, he's one of the toughest survivors in DC, Dark Legion. However, Bane is less popular compared to other heroes because those heroes not only survive, but also support their team. For example, Wonder Woman can stun enemies, Dr. Fate provides shields, and Scarecrow lowers enemy attack. Meanwhile, Bane's only strength is survivability. That said, when paired with the Assassin Alliance, his durability becomes a big advantage. Assassins generally have poor survivability, so having Bane absorb damage allows them to stay alive long enough to eliminate enemies. I won't dive too deeply into his skill details since they're pretty straightforward. Self-healing, boosting his own defense, and his fourth skill, which increases the Arkham faction's defense, helping them survive longer. This means if you face opponents using Deathstroke, you can pair Bane with Joker to keep Joker alive longer, and then add more support heroes to the team. One important note, Bane should be at least 5 white stars or higher. Alright, now let's look at the best legacy options for Bane. For Guardians, Amazonium is always the best choice. Since Guardians are the ones taking damage, Amazonium greatly boosts their survivability by increasing protection and providing extra HP and defense in the base stats. However, you can also consider Gabriel for Bane. His ultimate heals himself quickly, and Gabriel allows him to charge that ultimate faster. On top of that, Gabriel also boosts the team's attack, giving Assassins and Joker a significant damage increase. I think these two legacies are the most suitable. If you don't have them, you can use other legacies, but honestly, the rest are pretty average. Now let's talk about transmute for equipment. It'll be quite a while before most players can transmute for Bane, because personally, I think Mirror Cell should only be used on your team's main damage dealers that you've chosen beforehand. They're the ones who help you win fights quickly, and winning fast is very important in this game, unless you're specifically building a defensive team. For now, focus on the basic stats first. From my experience, there are a lot of heroes dealing spiritual damage in the current meta, so prioritize boosting spiritual defense, SDF, first. HP is also very important since Bane heals based on his max HP. He already buffs his own physical defense, so his main weakness is spiritual defense. Aside from that, you should also consider raising effect resistance, spiritual resistance, and dodge, but your top priority should definitely be spiritual defense. For set bonuses, I think the best option for Bane is definitely the shield set. Since Bane has very high HP, creating a shield equal to 40% of his max HP makes him extremely hard to take down. As for the part where it interrupts enemies within 3 meters, I'm not entirely sure how that works in game, so if anyone knows, feel free to comment and share. All these effects activate when Bane uses his ultimate, meaning he can be practically unkillable if opponents can't deal more than 40% of his max HP before he casts it. If you don't have enough resources to get the full 5-piece shield set, you can mix 2 shield pieces with 2 unyielding will pieces. Unyielding will prevents crowd control, negates damage, and grants extra energy, helping you charge your ultimate faster, which in turn lets you activate the shield set bonus sooner. However, keep in mind that Unyielding Will only activates once when you drop below 30% HP, so it's harder to trigger during battles. That's why the priority is still to aim for the full 5-piece shield set whenever possible. Next is Force. For Bane, you shouldn't invest in attack at all. Even though Bane's damage is actually decent, arguably among the highest for melee heroes, I still don't recommend focusing on attack. Instead, prioritize HP, RES, SDF, and his Skill 1 and Skill 2, since these upgrades directly boost his survivability. If you have the resources to level up all the multiversal forces, you can raise each of them by 1 level to activate their combined bonus. Otherwise, it's not necessary to upgrade them further. And of course, if you're extremely well funded and have plenty of AC shards, feel free to max them out. But honestly, I think it's smarter to save your resources because stronger heroes will be released in the future, and saving now will give you more flexibility later. The best teams that benefit from having Bane include the League of Assassins. With all 5 members present, the entire team gains a 50% physical damage boost, and since this faction is fully focused on physical damage, it synergizes perfectly. The main weakness of this team is the lack of support heroes. However, their strength lies in overwhelming offensive power. Every member except Bane deals heavy damage. In particular, Red Hood benefits greatly here, as being in this lineup significantly boosts his damage output. If you guys are interested, I can make a separate build guide for Red Hood in a future video. For positioning, place Bane on the left side to tank hits from 3 enemies on that flank. Ra's al Ghul should be on the right side, absorbing hits from 2 enemies there. He doesn't need to survive long. His job is to burn through his HP quickly to unleash maximum damage potential. Talia goes behind Ra's al Ghul. Deathstroke and Red Hood go on the left side. This positioning lets Red Hood focus damage on the enemy's frontline tank, while Deathstroke will automatically target the highest damage dealer on the enemy team. As for the Al Ghul duo's targeting, based on multiple tests in Darkest Timeline, Talia tends to target the middle enemy, while Ra's often hits the left target. By the time Red Hood unleashes his ultimate, at least 1 or 2 enemies on the opposing team should already be eliminated. Next is the Arkham 5-man team. At first glance, this lineup looks strong, but it's only truly powerful in the early game. The reason is simple. Back then, there aren't many heroes who can directly counter Joker, who is the team's main damage dealer. However, once Joker gets taken out early, the team collapses. That said, it's still a solid PvE team early on. In the early stages of the game, Arkham is one of the easiest factions to complete because you can obtain these 5 heroes relatively quickly. Bane as the main tank, Scarecrow to reduce enemy damage and lower their SDF, Poison Ivy for healing, charming enemies, and summoning plants, Two-Face to further reduce enemy SDef, Joker as the primary damage dealer to finish off enemies quickly. However, like the Justice League Dark team, this lineup also suffers from relying on a single main damage dealer. If you run into teams with Deathstroke, you'll face similar problems. Once Joker is eliminated, your damage potential drops drastically. The team I rate highest for PvP that works well with Bane is a combination of 3 League of Assassins and 3 Legion of Doom members. In this setup, Bane and Scarecrow handle tanking, while Deathstroke, Ra's al Ghul, and Lex Luthor deliver massive damage to the backline. This team can potentially wipe out opponents before they even get a chance to use their ultimates. That's because Lex Luthor provides energy boosts, and the Legion of Doom faction bonus further increases energy regeneration, allowing your 3 main damage dealers to unleash their ultimates extremely early, catching opponents completely off guard. There are other decent team combinations as well, but I think these 3 teams are more than enough for now. That's the end of this video. I'll be making a series dedicated to the League of Assassins, so stay tuned if you're interested. I've also previously covered Deathstroke in detail. You can find that video linked in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.